Hello and welcome to Melty Cheese. This is Saber tips, Tekken style, because I'm a Tekken player. So again, if you've seen any of my videos, you know the open Hwoarang lessons, everything all about Hwoarang, all that stuff, all the general stuff. So here I'm just gonna cover a couple of tips. I have 5 tips for Saber. And keep in mind, I'm thinking more like I tried putting Tekken into it, to help me understand the game a little bit better. And here goes nothing, right? So number one, her best move that has served me a lot, and you've seen other Sabers as well. It's this beautiful move, JC. Whether it's charged or not charged, this move is really, really good. Its hitbox is great. Hitbox is definitely under her, and there are so many situations where it may hit on the other side. And of course, just like that, as you can see. Of course, it's not as big, but if you charge it, it's bigger, which is just exactly what you want for more plus frames. It's just really, really good. And you can just... I've had some games where I just camp like this. Although it's not exactly optimal, right? Because again, your opponent's gonna go after you. So let's say, again, you're just doing this. Your opponent can just snipe you, just like that. Or if, they lose the clash. Which makes it great, by the way. But if they catch you, right, like instead of like not going under you like that, or catching you in the air, that's when you have trouble with JC. So just keep that in mind. So of course, again, you can clash. You can do your own air buttons, or don't charge it fully to fight it, or do a shield in the air. Of course, shield again in the air is risky because the moment you land from shield, you are punishable, launch punishable, right? Just like a Hwoarang Hell Sweep or whatnot, or a Hwoarang Back 3. Except it whiffed. So let's go on to tip number 2. That is reverse beating. So in Tekken, the equivalent of this would be doing something like a jab to a DF1, down back 3 of Hwoarang to while standing 4. Stuff like that. You're resetting it so that you can get a new situation. So again, it's on guard all. One of the common ways I've been reverse beating is that you want to reverse or beat always back to this 5A or 2A. Mainly you want to reverse beat back to your fastest moves, stuff like that. You can see how the situations change a lot, like so. And you notice you're still like in a neutral position, so you can still hit them a lot. Now let's say you're not as comfortable in reverse beating. You can do stagger pressure, just empty like this and dash in, or just do the move. That's okay, that works completely fine, just like in Dragon Ball Fighters. And let's say you want to use some block strings. One of the main ways to keep safe, let's say you always do the auto combo from any of these, whether that be C, B, or A. The best way to keep it safe is to do the Rekka. So that's 236A, B, or C. Well, mainly 236A or B, because C always eats your, always spends meter. So I'm gonna show one here, and we'll have Saber do that, and we'll just show you if an opponent does delay their punishment because they're looking forward to this, the strings, like the flamingo strings, Hwoarang, then you're gonna be mainly safe. However, if they're on point, they can get the punish. And of course, the only thing that could punish you with the Rekkas is a 5A or a 2A. And in Saber's case, she can't really punish her own Rekka, right? She has to do 2A mainly, not 5A, because 5A is too short. And of course, that's not to like discount, if you want to do this, you can do this. However, this compared to the Rekka is interruptible. Interruptible. And it's not exactly that great of an option, not unless your opponent is really waiting and is delayed in their options. Because just like that, you're just gonna get hit and you're gonna get blown up by like a lot, and that's not exactly something you want to put yourself in a situation of. Yes. And of course, if you have meter and you're doing this, you can easily just do 2-2C to get your plus 8 and be on your way and reverse beat or do another block string, or again throw. Yeah, perfect for those situations. And of course, it's not fully recommended to always rapid beat into any of the block strings, because again, this by itself, the rapid beat is unsafe. So again, we demonstrate that. So even if I'll have Saber walking back here, and I'm gonna punish it with a 5A, well, not get hit by it, but just punish it. And it's big. I believe it can get punished even by a 5C. Yeah, it's too big. So that means they're gonna get big combo damage off you if you attempt to do that. So I'd reserve this, but if you ever do it, it's best to do the Rekka. And of course, you know how it is with certain lows in the game of Tekken, wherein if you attempt to punish a low, but they pull off the whole string, you're in danger. So I'll just demonstrate that here. So I delayed the first hit, the second, right? So I'm gonna block the whole thing. I'm gonna press right after the first one, and just like so. Same jazz, really. And of course, I'm gonna talk about the auto combo again. Did you see that? Did you see how far that reached? You can throw off your opponent that way by just entering the auto combo immediately. And of course, if you don't want to enter the auto combo and you want to stress them out, if it ever affects your game, right? Like the game, you can always just hold back, or again 4A to not enter the auto combo. But if you just press A, 5A by itself, and you're in a distance where Saber can straight up go in, then she's gonna straight do the rapid beat. And it also realigns. So again, if I have the opponent just jump here, just a little bit, jump, like it literally homes in. Think of it like a tracking move. A tracking move-ish that's unsafe. So you have some risks there. In regards to all the other block strings, again, if you want to build your own and you're not as comfortable in reverse beating yet, which is again main Melty thing to do, all of Saber's moon skills here that you're seeing are all safe. They're all safe, which is great. They're all safe. And if you do any of the EX moves like this, well, maybe aside from the DP, that's unsafe. This is safe, and this is safe. Now again, just to demonstrate, safe. Oops. Yes, Saber. Do it. Doesn't reach. And of course, we'll use something that reaches. Nope. So, and yeah, the DP. This one's mainly going to be unsafe. Because again, it is a DP. So if you remember Akuma, you're launch punchable by like a lot. Alright. Let's move on to the next tip. And my next tip is Okizeme. So how combos get structured here is that you hit the opponent, then you go up in the air, and you do an air throw. That's mainly how you end it for most characters in the game. In Tekken, how that works is that you launch, you tail spin, you filler, wall carry, right? And then whether you get the wall or not. Here, it's either you get the corner or not, because of the way 2D spaces work, right? So her main Okizeme, right, that's most advantageous to her. So again, we'll just do a really simple combo here. You just straight up do the auto combo. Is you do one BC into the throw so that you can get this safe jump Okizeme. That's mainly what you want to do. So all the time, you do 2 hits, you get this, and you can do some left-right mix-ups immediately, which is not as common in Tekken, right? This is mainly 2D stuff. So that's mainly what you want to do the moment you get your combo. And of course, you can use it to, again, lame it out or create any other situation you want. Because again, you have 2 jumps in the air and you can air dash, blah, 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 blah. And of course, if you decide not to go for that, you can do the BC into air throw, which will decrease your Okis a lot, but you can just do this. You just straight up 2A, and of course you just run the options here and there based on how, again, they're reacting. Adjustments are always key. That's for in combos, right? So what happens if you just get a regular throw? So guess in Tekken, like Horang back 2+4, the roll and choke, that has great Oki. Well, it used to. And then, it got nerfed to the ground. So you could do this. This is what I like doing mainly. So I would do a throw, you whiff two 2As, and then do any of the 2-1-4s, and you can cancel it as well. So if they're looking to interrupt you, because again, this is still mainly, you can still like do a moon drive, right, to interrupt it, or like a DP. So if they're looking forward to that, you could always just cancel it. Or if not, you can just go straight big with it, with the 2-1-4s. And if ever like any of these get blocked, again, this is plus on block, and this is launch punchable. But you can always just cancel that with a 2-2C, so you're all good. And a moon drive if you have moon gauge available to you. So we'll have the CPU demonstrated here. Whiff, 1-2, and then hold back. So I'm gonna attempt to interrupt it here. So I'm just gonna let myself get thrown. I'm mashing A. like so. But if I mash, let's say 2A, right? I lose. Not 5A, but 2A. So again, those are the fastest moves in the game. B loses, and go 2B. No, and then of course I do 5C. No, that loses 2. And then of course 2C. Naturally, again, all these options can get shielded. The system mechanics in Melty Blood are really, really good. So there's a lot of defensive mechanics available to you. Again, even a backdash. Oh, a Korean backdash. Like, so there's like many, many options. This is just like mainly one of my favorite Okizemes for ground. So it works the same way with the other version, which is the B version, 214B. And of course, if you cancel it, you know, there's a lot of mind games you can run on it. However, again, if this clashes, because again, anything that has this green charge is technically a power crush or an armored move. So if it clashes, you can still press a button and you can shield. However, based on the labbing I've done, I wasn't that successful in finding out what other options Saber can really press in this situation. So if you know, like you're a Melty Blood player and you have better labbing ability than I do, which again, if you are, you most likely will have it. Let me know if Saber can win in this situation if you clash with her there. So we're gonna go on to the fourth Saber tip I have, and that is her arc drives. So that's the supers basically, rage arts-ish, you know, if you want to call that. So that's 236 BC and 214 BC. So she has a counter, and then she has a really, really big ass projectile. She just Excalibur wipes the floor with the opponent. So if you see, let's say you're fighting someone who has a projectile as well, let's say it's Vlov, Roa, Hisui, Kohaku to a certain extent, Red Arquid, right? And you're hovering around this range and you have 3 bars, and they're at that life wherein you can put them really, really close to death, or it's gonna be on the point, on the dot that this is enough, and you have the read, because remember it's invul, so that does around 3k damage on by itself. And of course, if you're in heat, regular heat, that should do around a couple of more damage, just 3-5. So I like using it mainly for the reads. So the Saber of Cheese video should have dropped already. So you would have seen the two moments where I moondrived into Excalibur and just Excalibur by itself. So it's really good for that purpose. However, unfortunately, what do you call that? Its hitbox is weird. Like that. Why did I just jump over? That one I couldn't understand. So it's weird, like in when I checked the Saber wiki or the Melty Blood wiki, it says that the hitbox is kind of above her head. But every time I've tested it, and I've had a lot of games wherein I would get the read with Excalibur, like that, right above, and it doesn't hit. So that's one of the main things you have to worry about when using Excalibur. And of course, yes, again, it can be shielded, blah 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 blah. Most of the things in the game can be shielded. So yeah, that's mainly what you could be using Excalibur for. And of course, it's your main combo filler. Let's say you do a combo like this. Again, unoptimal, but yeah, you can end it on Excalibur for, you know, max damage. Her other arc drive, again, which is Avalon, this one. This one, I would say, is far better than Excalibur. However, the only downside to it is that it's a parry, or a reversal, again, whatever you want to call it. You need your opponent to hit you. However, it's active the moment you do it. So the moment you activate Avalon, you're more or less immune to everything. And it has like a high-ish whiff recovery. So it's like Hwoarang Backlash in a way. So if the opponent is not ready to punish this, you are going to be safe. So I'll have Saber do it here. And what I mean by it is like the moment you press a button, like that, dead. I need to find a way to get behind her. There you go. Maybe I should like be ready already. There you go, like that, like that. There you go. And you're just in big danger. But it also goes for projectiles as well. So main projectile we'll be using here is Excalibur. I believe it should beat. Yeah. So even another arc drive of another character is not going to save them. The moment Avalon is active and you do it on point with them. And it's great for projectiles as well. So if you have like again Vlov, Aurora, whoever hovering around there, you can just straight up Avalon. and it'll be all yours. And my last and final tip, the fifth one, is shields. Or at least dealing with shields and what moves should you expect as Saber to get shielded and what should you do in the situations should it get shielded, right? So mainly the stuff that would get shielded is this 5C. 5C would get shielded mainly. Because again, this is also not an overhead. So again, that's a standing shield, right? If we have Saber crouch, down overhead. So if you want an overhead, you always have to do JB or JC. That's what you mainly have to do in order to, what do you call this? Beat the shield. I'm not sure about JA, but I don't think you can get JA in this scenario at all. Like that took, like it's been whipping above her head, and I only got one time. So yeah. So this 2C as well, because if they're mainly low shielding, right? Crouching shielding, Tekken terminology. The Rekkas, right? The Rekkas, because you're gonna be throwing this out a lot, right? If you're doing this in your block strings, and of course, JC. JC will get shielded a lot, and that'll be happening even like in the air. Like if they know and they're attempting to get a read on your JC, they'll just straight up run, shield that. So mainly what you're supposed to do in these situations is that once you put in the shield mix-up, right? So of course there's really nothing you can do the moment you get shielded. So your one of your best options is BC, which is again requires your moon. It's a moon skill, so you'll be more or less safe against, let's say, A and B, and if they BC as well on the shield, you'll just trade. So it's really one of the best options you could do on shield. Aside from that, it's more or less understanding which options they're going to be doing, so that you know what button to press or if you're supposed to hold back. Because again, if they do like shield B, you don't lose that much. And if they delay that, you can block it. Like, again, the options are all delayable. And of course, once you get put into the shield mix-up, and let's say you shield, successful shield here, you could always end the shield stuff with a throw. Always. Like you'd always just end it on the throw. So if I see they shield, they're holding shield, throw. And again, Saber of Cheese video, it's probably going to be somewhere. It's going to be on the card, upper right. Yeah. Because I demonstrated a bunch of that there. And of course, there's the match VOD, 2 match VODs of mine that show those examples. Although you could watch other players as well. I do highly recommend that you do watch other players as well. Regardless of the, character. So that you can get a good idea of how shield is being used. But again, BC, best option you could run. And of course, change up your timings mainly. And of course, like again, I already mentioned this with the first tip. You could just do empty jumps, stuff like this. And if they shield, you can catch them. If it's, this one, you could, no, if you don't do anything really, you go shield mix up. My bad. The inexperience with Multi-Blood is showing. I really don't know that much. I literally been playing this game for like 2 weeks or something like that. It's fun though. It's fun. It's always a great experience, learning another fighting game after like being stuck in one for so long. But again, that's all the Saber tips I have at the moment. I most likely won't be having any new one anytime soon. Again, if you want to see other Melty content, I probably only create 5 videos, so playlist will be somewhere above my head. And I've been Frontier, and thank you for watching.